Hey, parent friends. Jordan Langdon here with you again for another episode of our show. It's a beautiful sunny morning here in Denver. Some light snow has just fallen and it's just absolutely gorgeous out here. Anyway, if you are new to our podcast, I want to remind you that I am a parent too. So whatever season of parenting you're in, I may just be able to relate to. I've got a 17-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So I know what it's like to be managing a house and kids and a job and my relationship with my spouse, friendships, volunteering, all the things. And I know what it's like to do all that in family life without a clear identified direction or shared goals with my family. And I have to tell you, it's honestly a recipe for complete burnout. This is how marriages end. Kids end up feeling isolated and disconnected from their parents and each other, and people have nervous breakdowns. Now, remember, I'm also a clinical social worker as well. So I've been a therapist for a long time and I've witnessed this myself. So if you want to save yourself and your family from a crisis, you will start identifying a goal to work on together and begin to lead your kids to a better future. Does that sound pretty direct? It is direct. And the reason I'm being crystal clear on this is because I truly care about you and your family. I also know what works because of my own mistakes and growth. And I don't want you struggling through marriage and family life for as long as I did, just because no one told you something that could work. Now, this episode gives a very simple approach to identifying one family goal to work towards every month. Keeping the focus on positive progress, your family will experience a transformation like never imagined. But before we get to that, I just want to thank you for your enthusiasm around our podcast. I know I say this a lot, but we've hit new download numbers over the past week, and it's all because of you. Our show has been downloaded over 17,000 times. That's right, 17,000 downloads. So thanks for sharing our episodes with people in your circle. I myself am a natural exhorter. That's one of my top 3 gifts. What that means is that I tell everyone, and I mean everyone, when I'm excited about something. And trust me, not everything excites me, I promise. It takes a lot for me to share something. So I assume that of you too. You have to really love something to share it. So if you are sharing our podcast by forwarding on our Tuesday weekly emails that you get to someone you know, or hitting the little square with the arrow up button on your podcast platform on your phone so you can text these episodes to someone, or even if you're simply shooting a text to your friends to tell them to search the Families of Character Show on their podcast platform, thank you. It takes a community to get our message out, and you guys are crushing it. So let's dive right in today's topic, which is family goals. Okay, now before you hit end on this podcast episode, and you're probably thinking, yeah, right, family goals? I can't even get these people to put a dish in the sink or put their screens down long enough for a high five or a hug. Guys, what I'm about to tell you is different. It's simple. And isn't that what we need? Simplicity in family life. Okay, about 5 years ago, I'll tell you that I was in a place where I dreaded the new year. For some reason, I get really down on myself around the end of the year, thinking I hadn't done enough over the course of the year. And then I'd kind of beat myself up about how we didn't have anything to show for the year. Then I would put so much pressure on myself to buy a new planner, set some lofty health goal for myself, and all these crazy things that created anxiety. And then to top it off, I'd go on to make a list of things our family needed to start doing in order to be better. It's a little embarrassing to share all this, I admit, because going through this cycle year after year was chronically disappointing and frankly depressing too. So I realized I needed to do things differently in order to bring joy and excitement to our family with baby steps. Man, I wish I would have known to do this differently when I was a young mom. Probably would have saved me lots of guilt and shame over the past years. So what we've done differently is to hone in on a few things we really need some growth in and just keep it simple. No lofty health goals, no more ridiculous additions to our everyday routine that add 5 steps in the morning and 3 steps to our evening routine. Now we focus on 1 to 2 goals for a month or two and settle in with those until they become habits. And the difference is we're doing these things, we're developing habits for the good of others, the good of one another, for our family. Not because we want something for ourselves, which is how I used to think of New Year's resolutions or goals. Instead, we've started working toward a common shared objective together, which has also, double bonus, served as a springboard for me with personal goals as well. So I went from beating myself up for not achieving the lofty personal resolutions I set for myself at the beginning of each year and making a list of goals other people needed to work on to get better, to a simple formula for setting goals as a collective, unified family. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the year, there's no more beating myself up about what I didn't accomplish or what we didn't accomplish. Instead, our whole family celebrates our wins as we reflect upon what we worked on, those things we set our intentions on throughout the year. Guys, this has made a huge difference. The overwhelming benefit of family goals is great love and unity and coming together as a united team. So I wanted to share this with all of you. Remember, I'm a natural exhorter. When I love something, I share it. When I've come across something that works, I give it away to others, and it feels good. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of family goal setting, I just want to take a minute to address how most of us think about goals. There's a great quote from St. Jose Maria Escrivá that goes like this: "Perseverance in little things for love is heroism." When we think of being a hero, we usually think of superheroes like Superman or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, who have one big special power and who make one great act of sacrifice for someone else. But according to this definition of a hero, you might be awarded a single opportunity for being a hero in your entire lifetime if you're even offered one at all. So, instead of one big special power or one great rescue or one lofty New Year's resolution, let's challenge ourselves to change that view by practicing heroism every single day. Just like this quote, "Perseverance in little things for love is heroism." Because by ordering our daily actions toward the good of others, the good of those right under our roofs, our spouse, our kids, we spread happiness and are expressing great love for them. And isn't that the most important? Learning to love those in your family, practicing those small acts of service daily so that we have the ability to serve others around us. Now, that being said, this mindset, this giving mindset where we work to help each other and serve another, isn't real popular right now. Our culture does not positively promote self-sacrifice. Unfortunately, the American dream can be very egocentric, and self-promotion or self-importance is often a top priority in our culture. Wouldn't you agree? Setting goals you work on as an entire family versus going after something strictly for you may feel unnatural at first because this may be new to you. But incorporating small sacrifices into your day by keeping your family goal top of mind and working at it just a little bit each day together will benefit your life and the lives of those around you, even more than what you had imagined you might get if you crushed a personal resolution or goal. And trust me, guys, I've been there. So this is coming from personal experience. So let's dive in and get practical about how to do this as a team in family life all year round. Then you'll be able to face the new year with confidence and courage that your family will grow in love and great unity, becoming closer with more harmony. Now, again, as a clinical social worker, I've got to bring some research. Okay. So when it comes to family goal setting, families who have the most success are those who keep it simple, but also focus on overcoming the one or two biggest problems they are currently having. The one or two things that are pulling at them the most. The thing you want to pull your hair out about, you're probably shouting out right now, yeah, Jordan, kids fighting with each other drives me nuts. Okay, you've probably got that one thing in mind then. Keep it there. Our latest research identified the top 5 problems trending with families today. And here are the top 5 challenges. Number 1, disrespect. This includes talking back and sibling rivalry, your kids fighting with each other, teens and tweens being dismissive to parents, and temper tantrums of all age ranges. Disrespect. The second is consistent morning and evening routines. This means getting kids to make beds, clean up, brush their teeth regularly, complete schoolwork, and go to bed at the same time. So a lack of consistent morning and evening routines is a problem. Third is disorganization. Just messy rooms, late for things, kids forgetting sports equipment or school supplies, people prioritizing screen time over quality time spent together as a family, disorganization. And then patience. Parents complain they are just losing it on their kids, just simply having difficulty regulating their own emotions so they can discipline from a place of love, responding to their kids versus reacting, which I talked about in episode 6, if you haven't listened to that yet. And then selfishness. Everything is all about the kid, not wanting to help around the house or do things for others because they're consumed with their own wants and needs like screen time, refusing to eat what is served at mealtime, demanding their favorite food be cooked in addition to what you've already made. And then parents are complaining that their kids can't even imagine doing something for their brother or sister because they don't think it's their job. These are the top 5 parenting challenges. So you are not alone. Again, in order, they were disrespect, consistent morning and evening routines, disorganization, patience, selfishness, or entitlement. So if that's the reality, these are the things you are struggling with. Where do you begin when it comes to changing these behaviors? Where do you begin? Well, where do you even begin when you set a family goal to eliminate or reduce these negative behaviors? Remember, I said keep it simple. Listen, if disrespect is the overarching problem behavior, your family goal will be respect. Growing in the character strength of respect will be the identified goal for the month, or maybe even the first quarter of the year, 3 months. You notice I didn't break that down saying our family goal is going to be to quit talking back when someone asks you to do something. That is identifying a goal in a negative perspective. And kids will roll their eyes at you if you present it in this way. Another act of disrespect that you don't want to experience, right? Because it sounds more like nagging or complaining about their behavior. So the best way to present family goals is to join your kids in working together on this goal and to present it and frame it positively. Remember, team is your theme, working together. So presenting this to your family as something new and exciting could sound something like this. Hey guys, we're going to try this new thing this year. Each month, we're going to focus on improving, getting better, and we are all going to work together as a team to do that. Then you can give them an analogy of a sports team. You know how everyone practices really hard on a soccer team to do their best and beat the other team in the next game? Well, that's what we are going to do. I bet you can imagine what it's like when one person on a team does all the work and no one else practices. That doesn't feel good, does it? So we are going to identify a theme or a goal for the month and work to get better at things like respect and being on time and being prepared for things, being grateful for each other and for things we enjoy in our lives, learning to help each other out around here so everyone is happier because we're working together. How does that sound? Now, you may get some questioning or some grumbling about another thing, but that's where, as the parent, the leader of these little heroes that you're raising, you have to have that thick skin and be the adult. You have to let those comments just bounce off you and amp up the positivity with enthusiasm that communicates you believe in them. And that even if you don't believe they don't believe that this could be helpful, you do. So we have a template to help you with this simple family goal setting, and it came in your email. The email was sent out on January 9th. So you can download and print it right from your computer. Or if you aren't signed up to get our weekly email newsletters on Tuesdays, there's a direct link in this family goal guide in the show notes so that you can start getting those emails. So click on the link and download your copy today so that you have something tangible. The visual is not only great for you, the parent, the leader of your team, it's a great visual for your kids too, to keep your goals top of mind for the month. So why do I think family goal setting is so important? Because again, I know what it's like to be managing a house, kids, a job, my relationship with my spouse, friendships, volunteering, all the things without a clear identified direction. And remember I said, it's a complete recipe for burnout. This is how marriages end. Kids end up feeling isolated and disconnected from their parents and each other. And then people end up having nervous breakdowns. Why? Because you're not working as a team. You're a team of one trying to do everything for everyone, and it doesn't work. So if you want to save yourself and your family from a crisis, you have to start identifying a goal to work on together and to begin to lead your kids to a better future. And listen, if you are a grandparent listening to this episode and you're feeling quite helpless when it comes to influencing your grandkids and helping them become better people of honesty, integrity, self-control, gratitude, generosity, you too can come up with a monthly goal and rally your adult kids and your grandkids around this goal too. I actually know many grandparents in our community that are doing this, and it's awesome to see 3 generations of a family working to do better in respect and responsibility and generosity and giving. So here are a list of ideas that are included in our free family goals downloadable. Improve upon organization. Okay. 4 ideas include everyone being 5 minutes early to school and work each day, waking up 15 minutes earlier than usual, taking 10 minutes to tidy up the house each night before you go to bed. We call it the 10-minute tidy up. Donate 2 to 5 things per week to a donation box. Do you want to improve in respect? Here are some ideas for that. Clean up your own dishes after meals. Ask permission to use electronics. Listen without interrupting. Offer kind words instead of criticism. Now, if you want to work on forgiveness, so you aren't holding grudges or acting in a passive-aggressive way, you can offer, I forgive you when someone hurts you. Refuse to talk badly about others. Smile to someone who is grumpy. Offer a hug for others' mistakes. Now listen, maybe you need to improve on self-control or impulsivity in your family. Here's some ideas for that. How about chores before screens? Desserts on Sundays only. We've done that for a period of time. It was so hard and so good at the same time. How about everybody make their bed every morning? That's called self-control. Why? Because you're doing something you need to do, above and over the thing that you really want to do, which is usually something that serves you. And another way to work on self-control with kids is to actually stop doing what you're doing when someone says stop. If your brother says stop, annoying me or poking me in the arm in the car, actually stop doing that, right? So these are just small things you can talk about to work on for the month, and then positively praise them every time you notice someone in your family really crushing this goal. What about growing in gratitude? You may feel like you have kids who are entitled or ungrateful. You can, we've done this before too, for 30 days. Make a statement about something that you're grateful for before you take a bite of food at each meal, right? So every time you sit down to a meal, you guys go around the table and make a statement of gratitude before diving into your food. How about writing down one thing you're grateful for on a huge whiteboard or a piece of paper in your kitchen and see if you can get 30 things in 2 weeks? You can also make a goal to write thank you notes weekly and send them in the mailbox. That is so awesome, and people love that. And then say thank you often. What about growing in generosity? Okay, to get out of that selfish mindset, the one where we focus on me, how about 30 days of random acts of kindness? And everyone writes down what they did each day. Grandparents, you could initiate that one and offer a prize to the family that offers the most random acts of kindness. How cool would that be? Parents, family goals are vital to deep connection and belonging for parents and kids. Having something you're working on together is what creates bonds and traditions of growth, generosity, and togetherness. This is what we need. This is what we want, and this is what our kids ultimately need. And you know what the really awesome news is? Once you get on a roll with these family goals month to month, it paves the way for coming up with even more exciting goals. I've shared many times over these
180 some podcasts that we've had
that our family has been to 49 of the 50 states and are planning another 10 coming up in the next year. You see, once everyone is in the habit of doing what they need to be doing, taking care of themselves and helping one another around the house, it sets you all free to dream and accomplish exciting family goals and make long-lasting memories together. So, for whatever time of year it may be when you're listening to this, keep it simple. Rally your family around one goal. Keep it positive. Point out positive progress often, and you will see your family transform. Parents, this family goal setting pairs really, really well with the weekly family huddle. And if you haven't heard about our simple and transformative weekly family huddle, be sure to listen to episode 10, How to Implement a Weekly Family Meeting, and episode 44, where my daughter shares how kids benefit from a weekly family huddle. It's really sweet what she says about how these family huddles every week, where we talk about our goal and circle back and celebrate the wins and just come together intentionally every single week, really matters to kids. So again, the family goal setting guide is linked in the description of this episode to make this whole conversation come together simply for you and to be practical to implement at home. And please be sure to visit our website, familiesofcharacter.com. It's got a new look, which I'm really excited about. Janet Gillis is our creative designer, and I could not do any of this without her. She is just a creative genius behind everything at Families of Character. So be sure to check out our website, familiesofcharacter.com. We also have a really awesome new offer, parent coaching, which I am so excited about because, again, this is my jam. As a clinical social worker and therapist for 20 years, I absolutely love to coach parents and give them real practical tools to implement in their family so they don't need a coach or a counselor for the rest of time. they've got the tools they need to really unify their family and strengthen their marriage. So check out our parent coaching that we have in our shop. Really, it helps you rekindle your relationship with your spouse, revitalize your family dynamic. And when you do that, it just takes your family to another level. So check it out. Sign up for our transformational live personal coaching. And you are just going to be so glad that you did. Guys, if some things about your marriage or your family, I'm telling you, we here at Families of Character, we've got you covered. Kick off the new year with a new you. You've got this. Please know I am always in your corner. And thanks again for sharing our episode with people in your circles. Take care, and I'll catch you on another episode real soon.